Hello everybody, this is BB Davis. Welcome to 1021 Magazine, where I'm publisher and founder. We're celebrating life, a wonderful legend. Live on air, for our live on air personality legend, BarbaraTaylor. We're giving love and tribute to a wonderful lady who inspired me as a young girl, from a teenager and all the way to adulthood and even until now. Stay tuned for this beautiful tribute to BarbaraTaylor, a native of South Carolina, and she transitioned. So we send this love to a legend, one who did excellent at the Big DM 101.FM, where I first heard BarbaraTaylor, and from there she would go on to other radio stations, even in Charlotte. So, lock in for some good memory lanes for all of us who love and know and grew up with BarbaraTaylor on those radio waves and in person, however that goes for you. We're going to be going some flashback times for music, and my story time on how this wonderful lady of radio inspired me and others. I definitely want to thank the family for their love of giving me some personal throwback pictures of a gorgeous BarbaraTaylor. And even though she is not with us here in the physical, she's with us in the spirit. Sending love to her family, to her daughter, to her grands, and everyone who just enjoyed BarbaraTaylor made the TaylorMade Express, the BT Express, the TaylorMade Affair, I should really say, and then the BT Express. My love for legends are always sincere, and so I thought, it's a year, and I can do this without shedding a lot of tears. Now, BarbaraTaylor, let me give you some FYI. She was born February the 6th, 1955. May 23rd, 2022 was the sunset, Sumter, South Carolina. And I'm telling you, I have so many great memories. So you need to lock in. How about you lock in? We're going to be doing some riding and rolling and cruising.
Oh, yes, we
together
are.
Because that's what I thought would be the greatest testament for how she inspired me and a lot of others, because we grew up listening to BarbaraTaylor on the radio. Hi, Barbara, I want to request a song. We would do the call-ins to the show and be with aunties and uncles and all of that. You know how there would be the babysitters, and then we'd call in for the dedications, and then you could call in for your dedication. And BarbaraTaylor always made you feel like you were the only person that had her undivided attention and nobody else was around. And that's what I really, really digged. She was so a people's person, and she knew her music. She knew how to run those boards. And look, we're talking about female disc jockey radio personality. Not only just the vibe of playing your favorite records, or my gosh, if it was live and you got to talk and do your dedications on the radio, it was great. But every time I did a dedication,
Is this the Big DM?
With
BarbaraTaylor? I'm on the air.
my music was played
air.
and my dedications were given. And so as years went on and I grew up a little bit more, and then when I was in Charlotte, the Queen City, BarbaraTaylor descended upon the Queen City, and everyone just loved her. I had to call into the show, and I was like, I remember you as a little girl on the Big DM 101, okay? FM. And she was like, hey, girlfriend. Again, that's just how BarbaraTaylor was, giving you that undivided attention and making you feel real, real special. And then meeting her in person for many of the gigs that the radio stations did, and you had the personalities out at different venues. It was a pleasure to meet such a legend. Now, when we're talking radio, everyone, and being on air, anybody can jump on air, but it's always the distinct ones that can get on the air and make magic happen for so many people. And that's what BarbaraTaylor did, okay? getting to the mic, running those boards, not like how it is today, where you can kind of count on a song, replaying because it's a different time. But back then, you spin and you work the boards, and she did it effortlessly. I'm very sure you can ask many radio personalities that dealt with BarbaraTaylor on a personal level that they knew that she knew how to work those boards and just make magic. Now, myself, as a online digital radio personality, I always stated, and I forever will state, that BarbaraTaylor was indeed an inspiration. When you get on the mic, you want to be magical. And that's exactly what BarbaraTaylor was. Magic.
I'm calling the big DM after dinner and homework. Barbara would be on the air. We can request our songs.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create some magic. I wish I could play thousands of songs that was spent. Okay, like spinning. But I could not. But I did get some jams. So hopefully the music that I played that BarbaraTaylor would play for me and my cousins and my aunties and my uncles, maybe some of those are your favorites. So we do this love and we do this tribute to legend. And we got different segments. So hey, get ready to go back in time with me, BB Davis, for BarbaraTaylor, the legend, BT Express, BarbaraTaylor, the Taylor-Made Affair. And listen, I'm so old school. I remember when she started doing the show with her and her brother on the Big DM when it was in Sumter, South Carolina. Oh yeah, that's how deep my love for BarbaraTaylor goes, okay? So let's go back in time, everybody. Let's do a flashback. Let's go vintage. And let's show love to the one and only BarbaraTaylor. Okay, so if you got your hoops and maybe some gear that you used to wear back in the day when you used to call in, get ready to get your mind blown. And let's turn up the energy and show some love to the one and only BarbaraTaylor and to her family. She would never, ever be forgotten. Magical. Women in media. It is always important. I'm BB Davis for 1021 Magazine. And let's show love to the one and only BarbaraTaylor. And love to all the women who take to the mic and make magic. Come along. I'm BB Davis. You're locked in with me for the old school groove. Showing love to the one and only BarbaraTaylor, the Taylor-Made Affair. This is going to be your tribute. We got star points on the ones and twos. The beloved BT transitioned last year. So we're showing love right before Mother's Day. So we want you to settle down, lay back and chill. We're going to be doing the ride along. Oh yeah. To old school grooves when I, as a young one, used to call in to BarbaraTaylor on the radio. So we're going to go back in time and we're going to have a complete ball, enjoying the grooves and the memories. And I want to thank the close family for giving me some exclusive pictures of BarbaraTaylor. Now, this legend was on the Big DM 101.3 FM, and she did a show with her brother. And as young ones, we would call them, because they were just beautiful, beautiful brother and sister. So we got the vibe check, and we want you to just settle in. Think about your skates. Think about your Jordache, your Sergio Valentes, ladies. Think about your Lees, your Color Lees, your Calvin Klein Sassoon, the Gloria Vanderdalts, and anything else that you love to wear. Because we're going back in time, and we're going to show love, rolling out as many of us used to do, listening to the early years of BarbaraTaylor. BT will forever and forever be loved. So come on and groove. Now this right here is an oldie but goodie. This is Hold Me and Love Me by Starpoint. And we want to give that rest in peace to lead singer Renee Diggs and many more. So it's a beautiful day to do a tribute. This is leading into Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to all the mothers and mother figures. Shout out to the mothers that have transitioned. But yeah, we're locked in. We got you locked in. And we're gonna do the groove for BarbaraTaylor. So if you remember those times in the 70s and the 80s when Barbara was on the radio spinning that vinyl, then you know that when you called in, you could get your record played. And the bonus would be if she put you on the air to do your request. That is what you call the bomb. So get ready for some good times as we lock it in and show love to the one and only BarbaraTaylor. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody, I wanted to show love to Starpoint. This is one of many favorite bands for many people. And the lead vocals was by Renee Diggs. Then you had Ernesto Phillips, Orlando Phillips, George Phillips Jr., Greg Phillips, Coyote Adeyemo, and we want to say rest in peace to Renee Diggs. She transitioned in 2005, and her life partner Ernesto, he transitioned 2004, a year before her. And they both, FYI, a good musical tribute, they transitioned in the month of March, a year apart. Also, George Phillips Jr. transitioned in 2021. And we want to say rest in peace to all of them. And we have so much great music and good albums from Starpoint. So I just wanted to show love there to one of my favorite bands. All right. So stay locked in. More BarbaraTaylor Made Affair.